So the good news for Maschine Mark 1 and Mark 2 owners, the software update for 2.0 works absolutely fine for both. I can trigger the pads on the Mark 1, use the transport controls, the upgraded browser on the original Mark 1 allows us to switch between the group sounds, instruments, effects and samples just like you can with the Mark 2. So let's switch over and let's have a play on the Mark 2. So both work in exactly the same way. The browser combined with the new mixer in 2.0 makes it very easy to build drum kits. I'm going to push browse, we're going to navigate from projects down to samples. I've got a list of all of the samples alphabetically over here on the right hand side. So I need to filter this. I'm going to use types to go to drums. I'm going to take this to kicks, and then I'm going to go for analog kicks. Now the pre-hear button is on, which means that anything I select will be heard. So that would do. I'm going to load it up. Now another thing that I do is I set my pad mode to fixed velocity. The reason for this is because I want to know the maximum level potentially I'm going to hit when I hit the pad hard, which means it's easier to adjust the levels of the sound in the kit. I'm going to come onto the mixer now. This is brand new in 2.0, so I've pushed tab on the keyboard to get to that, and I can actually, with the volume button highlighted, I can push the pad and then reduce the level here. So I think that's going to be a better starting point. Let's go to the next pad and let's come to browse again. And let's change the category. So I'm going to go for, I think, a clap over here. And let's see what we got. So yeah, a 909 is going to be good on there. Let's adjust the level. So volume again. Now we don't get to see the level at the moment because we're still on the browse section. So take it off and now we can see it. So let's go for a couple more sounds for this little introduction. So the routine, once again, we go to another pad, then we go back to browse. Let's get ourselves something different. So let's go for a closed hi-hat. So one of these 909s sounds good. Let's get that up. And I'm just going to take it out of browse. We get to see the level. It's too hot. The levels in the kit, you're only going to know 100% once you get your beat down. But the brand new mixer in 2.0 gives you a much better sense of the levels when you're building the kit. Let's click on browse again. Let's go to open hi-hat. Let's load this up. Take it off of browse. Get the level again in the mixer. So you've seen how the brand new mixer in 2.0 makes it a lot easier to set the levels of the individual samples in a drum kit. What about a more developed musical idea? Let's take a look in this next section. So that mixer really brings a lot to the table when you're actually working on your track. This is almost as good as a DAW. So you can see it's very clearly laid out here. You can see where my cursor is, that it's showing you the various elements of the channel strip. So this is going top down. So these are like inserts. So you start off with the actual sound or the device that's creating the texture. So it could be a sampler, or in this case, the drum synth, followed by an effect to really bring out the elements here. It's really easy to add an effect as well. Just click on the plus and then choose from the list as well. So it's a great way to start mixing your tracks down, get all your effects together, your compression, your EQ, everything is so much more visible. I'm going to show you something. I've got some white noise on this particular track, and this is a great new addition. You can see the gain reduction on the meters really clearly, and this is running with that new sidechain. So look, listen, this is what's going on with this. You can really clearly hear that white noise being pulsed by this new sidechain compressor. So the kick is triggering that sidechain, and it's really easy to set up. So a great new addition. And I'm just going to show you here, if we flip between these different groups, you can see the mixer showing you the sounds within each one, and the channel strip coming alive underneath with any of these elements where there is a sound. You can see that I've actually turned off a few of these. So there we go, look. And look, it's really easy. That particular sound there, if we wanted to add a reverb, let's come on here. So you can see how easy it is to set up the mix. You know, I'm loving this new mixer. I think it's fantastic, and it's really, truly, honestly enabling me to get mixed down, sorted out, literally running in standalone. I was saying to someone else the other day, the whole thing about this is it's really taking me back to the days of just literally having a basic MIDI sequencer, a couple of samplers and some effects, and getting some really wicked tracks done. This is the way a lot of classic tunes were made back in the day, really focusing on the individual elements. So let's just quickly come back over here. Just going to show you can do the mixer from the controller, shift plus navigate. It's a real nice little shortcut. And with that vocal, so that's over here, it's got a real nice twisted vibe to it. Actually, I've just remembered, it's not actually going on at the sound level, it's a group. So I added an effect at the group level. You can see that flanger. And so this is actually working really nicely. Just going to come through and find the actual effect itself. There we go. So we're going to switch over to flanger. And this is the big one. Okay, so look, have a listen again. Loving that flanger, real great futuristic texture. So yeah, mixer, fantastic. Let's take a look at some structuring. So with the 2.0 update, it's a lot easier to arrange your tracks. Everything you can see here has been structured using the Maschine hardware. I had a lot of fun putting together this reinterpretation of my classic Spend the Night track, and it's been great fun. So all of the scenes are all set up here. The scenes are in the software interface in terms of a linear fashion, and I can remix this stuff on the fly. Let me just start off with the first scene. And of course, it's all tempo synchronized. I could switch to the next. And I love this whole concept of putting the re-trigger on. So it's a real fun way to improvise and play around with your structure. Really good for live stuff. I did a really nice video for Point Blank that's really focused on this aspect. See the more linear fashion arrangement in the software, but as I said, you can do this stuff on the fly and just have a play around with it. So I'm going to flip to the chorus. So do the part 2. So that's the whole concept of the arrangement. There's also a new arrange button here. You can see the arrangement in terms of a more structured approach. You can see the numbers for the different scenes here. It's a really great way to work. And like I said, I did this whole track literally on the hardware, hardly ever looking at the software itself. So yeah, that's it. That's my first impressions of the Maschine 2.0 software update. This is all running on the Mark II hardware, so it shows if you've got the older gear, you can still get the benefits of the software. And the features are great, but also bear in mind that it comes with a fantastic new sample library. It's about 6 gigs worth of individual one-shot sounds, some great kits there, and also some really good kits built using the drum synth, so bear that in mind. And you know, it's also a big time to celebrate the release of this studio hardware. I've played around with it, I've used it, I've made a video for Point Blank, and it's a fantastic piece of kit. If you've got the cash, it's definitely worth investing. Seriously, it's an amazing piece of kit. So big up to Native Instruments for this. It's a really exciting release, and you know, you're going to see up and coming. There's a video that I produced for Point Blank that's been done in real high grade, really great studio environment, and you're going to find lots of people around the world, lots of Maschine users have been putting together videos that are all going to go live to celebrate the whole fact that this thing is launching. So look out for plenty of videos, and you know, I'm going to do a bit of a focus on my channel moving forward on the 2.0 software. I'm really impressed. You know, I really feel that I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this. It really feels to me like I'm kind of getting excited about making music again. It's a combination of the hardware and the software working really nicely together. So yeah, big up once again, Native Instruments. Thank you so much. This is a really, really great update. And yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with it, seriously.